Okay, so welcome to, I didn't come up with a title for it, Out Creating the COVID virus 19 fear propaganda machine thing stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, dot, 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 dot. And so what I want to do today is I'm going to give you some of the tools that I've found like just absolutely knock out all the weirdness in my life, and just allow me to, I don't know, feel good and not be, I don't want to say affected because I perceive it, but it's like it's not running over my life. It's like my brain isn't running, my system isn't in fear. Like it's just I'm I'm in it, but I'm not affected by it. And that's what I'd like to, that's my objective, is that by the end of the call that you're in a space where you can experience that too, where you can be here present on the planet without being just twisted into a pretzel or feeling kind of weird about it. And we'll start out with the just kind of a core rundown, and I'll explain what I'm doing with it. And then we'll go into more detail, and you can ask questions, and we'll bring up details, and we'll play more with just, I don't know, whatever's up, and we'll see what we can explore planetarily, and I don't know, we'll see where we can get on this call. So what I want, if you haven't already downloaded the downloads that are on email, you don't necessarily need them now, but make sure that you do get them before the downloads expire. If you're watching this video, you can click down below, and there'll be 2 links for downloads, and they're documents that we're going to use today. The reason I started this was mostly because I noticed that I was getting into it, and it was messing with my life. And normally I'm just in a space of kind of clear sailing, because I have a process of clearing and keeping myself clear. But I noticed it was coming up more and more, and I spent like half a day in it. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I was, oh, that's what that is. Okay. So like, what I want to do is like, what do you do when you take this stuff in? So for me, what happened was I normally pay very light attention to the world around me. I tap in just enough to keep track of what's going on, but I don't, like, I won't read any articles. I definitely won't watch any television or news. Like if anything that I engage it delicately at a distance. Like it's just, I'm not going to get sucked into it. Like I'm not going to watch a whole thing. I don't want to fall into somebody else's point of view, but I just want to grab what information seems useful to keep track of what's going on, and to justify, like, what the hell is this that I'm feeling? So I do that light thing, but then people were talking about this and that, and they're arguing, well, this is a conspiracy, and this is this, and this is that. And I was like, okay, let's dig in and see what it is. And I watched an hour-long video of an expert. And then after that, I was all wonky. And the expert wasn't fear. He wasn't pushing fear. He was just kind of stating kind of what he knew was going on there. And there was a high degree of truth in what he was saying. But I left feeling, bleh! And then I didn't think to clear. And then the next day, fear came in. And I'm like, okay, not good. No, we're done with this. And I just sat down and cleared. And I was like, oh yeah, I should share this with my group. I'm sure I'm not the only one experiencing this. So here's the things that I noticed. And let me share this Doki-Waki with you. Share. And this is one of the downloads that I have. I'm going to make myself big. And it's called Clearing Diagnostics. And what we've done is we've pretty much figured out the bulk of the core things that can tangle you on the planet. Like all the main structures that can lock you in, can manipulate you, can mess with you. And we've, over about a decade, researched like what are the core things, and put them together, and I've sorted them, organized them, coordinated them, and come up with a chart that has all the information in one place so that you can reference it. Now, this is a simplified version, so it doesn't have everything. If you're in my main program, you get the whole thing. But I want to share this with you because where's my keyboard? This is the basic pattern that we found, that it doesn't matter what you're clearing. You can start at the left side of this, go to the right side, and you're going to get clear. That's just kind of the bottom line. That's the design of this. On the left side, and we're not going to spend as much time on it, but I'll spend a little bit of time on it, is this reality works to get you to be something else that you're not. It wants you to be not you all the time. And there's three main categories. There's more, but these are the three that are in the simplified version. Amino acids. This reality has altered the food supply and food chain and done all kinds of interesting things with pollution so that your body doesn't produce the amino acids that your brain requires to activate your energy circuits, to keep your moods calm, to keep your body feeling just generally good emotionally. And it's as simple as going to the health food store and getting a couple amino acids, taking them with a little space in between, and you just start to feel good again. And I found about 85% of the people who have been my clients and have been in my programs find that this has been like, it solved all kinds of things. If you're constantly clearing and you just never are in a space of feeling good anymore, you want to check your amino acids. And how to do that is, I'm going to share with you. It's a free thing on my website. So we're going to go to website, and where is that document? My screen has got so many windows on it. It's hell. So this is the core website. Everything kind of starts here. Everything I'm going to talk about today you can find on my homepage, but it's this thing here. It's a free diagnostic quiz for if you have intense cravings, if you have low energy, if your moods, emotions are kind of all over the map, and if you have memory problems. Any one of those, there's simple amino acids that you can take that just make it go away. There's a diagnostic there that will let you handle it. Pretty much, if you're always clearing all the time, it's an amino acid thing. You take those and then you're not clearing all the time. You may need to clear once or twice a day, but please do check that out. It saves so many struggles. So that's the first thing that I would say is up for people. If you've never looked into that, do check that, and I'll send you, it's a diagnostic quiz, and then I'll send you an email that has exactly what to take and how to do that. So that's the first thing. The back to me process is a process that we found, and I'll share that with you now. That is, what are all the things that take you out of being you, that trick you into being not you? And we're not going to do much with that today. I want to do one activity from that. And then the other one is resolving fractures, which is way too complicated to talk about today. But you can be in a construct where it feels like your whole reality is collapsed in on you. And the core thing is you feel like you're back the same place you were like 10 or 15 years ago before you started clearing. That's how you know that you're in that. You feel like, wow, I feel like nothing has ever changed, and your life is turned to trash. You're probably in a fracture, and in 20 minutes of clearing it, gone. So both of those, you can get the older version in the website. Let me share. Again, I wish I could just jump between sharing. So what would it take? If you go to here where it says a Life Beyond Interference, a Facebook private group, you can go there, and I've been slowly installing learning modules. It's basically the 2015, 2016 version of something. So it's an older version of them, but it's the core. It's a lot of the core elements, and you can get them for free. If you want the more up-to-date versions, you can get those in my shop. And I can talk more about that later, but here's the resolving fractures. Here's the back to me. And there's an ebook with a lot of details you don't necessarily need unless you want to around the amino acids. So it's all in my shop. But I give it to you for free in an older version. I want you to get what you need, even if you don't have income. My commitment is to support everybody, whether you can afford it or not. Like for me, this is not about the money. It's about getting you to feel better again. And so let me go to the back to me, and I'll stop jumping around now. This is the document where we found, these are the core clearings for how do you find, how to get back to you. You know, that you that's like the infinite being, you feel empowered, you feel strong, you feel clear, everything just kind of comes easy. What if that's where you could live every day? And that's my goal, is for this is a set of clearings that we found get you back to that. And I want to do the first part. And let's expand. So this reality has this wonderful thing it does. It wants you to contract. It wants you to be in this really tight, gnarly space where like you feel trapped and nothing moves and everything is bigger than life. And if you feel that way, like trapped and everything is bigger than life and everything's bigger than you and everything wants to run you over all the time, that's an indicator you just need to expand. Because as an infinite being, you can't live in a small little space like many muggles or humans do on this planet. It's like it just doesn't work for you. It takes all the crap and it condenses it in such a small space that you're like, eh. So let's do this first. So allow yourself to connect to the authentic symbiotic planet. And the fancy words here are basically the green, living, real planet, not necessarily a technological or synthetic version of it. The authentic symbiotic planet. So picture like this lush rainforest or whatever natural, you know, the wide expanse of ocean or whatever natural aspect of the planet that you would just feel really good about connecting to, and allow yourself to connect to that. And invite your body to connect to that as well. There you go. And right away, it's like, and so now allow yourself to expand. So often you're like the size of your house or the size of your body or the size of your neighborhood. So allow yourself to expand to bigger than the province or state that you're in. And allow yourself to expand to bigger than the country that you're in. And just intend, don't think about it, just intend that your energy field expands. Your infinite being knows how to do it. Just allow that to be. And anything that feels in your way, just flow around it. Be like water. Just flow around all that stuff. There you go. And allow yourself to expand to bigger than the planet. So expand to the entire planet and then slightly bigger than that. So you're encompassing the atmosphere and all the way around the planet. Whatever shape it is, whether it's flat in your reality, whether it's spherical, whether it's a dome, whatever it is, expand to all the way around it. There you go. And now expand up above you again, bigger than the planet, and down below you, bigger than the planet, below that, below that. And anything that's in your way, there's often false floors there, just kind of flow around them like water and just go down below that, below that, below that, below that, below that, all the way down below that. And we'll clear in a bit, but let's just temporarily flow around it. And then back behind, flow back around all the garbage and just like water, just flow around it and expand beyond. And out front, flow around it, expand beyond. Yep, to the left, just flow around all the weirdness, expand beyond it. And to the right, expand beyond all the weirdness, flow around it. And now expand to bigger than the solar system in all directions. And double that, including down. There you go. Yep. Wow. And expand to bigger than the universe in all directions. Wow. Yeah. And double that down. And double that going backwards. Just flow around that weird stuff. Go around it. And flow around up. And flow around out front. And flow around the left. Double that, double that, double that. Flow around the right. And now imagine that, because often you're like in the middle of all that stuff. So imagine that you're going to leave your body where it is. Your body's going to remain connected to the planet. And you're just going to kind of step outside of all of that construct of limitation. And you're going to step to the edge of the universe, and you're going to like put all that stuff in front of you. We're going to clear all the crap, all the walls and ceilings and limits and barriers and all the constraints. Just grab all of that stuff. You're going to flow to the outer edges of that stuff, so you're not in the middle of it, and take everything not you and just big bulldozer. We're going to push it into a big pile in front of us. So everything in front, and encapsulate it so it can't run away. And tell your body, literally out loud, not you, not yours, let this go.
Body, not you, not yours.
And it was never yours.
Let it go, let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
And not you, not yours. So what we're doing is we're distancing ourselves from it, and the being can do that very easily. Body's used to hanging on to things. So it's like I found it's beneficial to coach your body into releasing. And body has a different way of releasing than being does. And what we're doing is we're just giving permission to body. Let this go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. And it needs to hear you say it out loud, not Jaden say it. And when you say it, you'll feel like a lightening. Things get lighter, and you don't feel like it's pulling at you anymore. It's like there's a relaxing that occurs when your body lets that go. And now let's go back to the outer edge, and let's grab everything that's down below and in the pile. And everything that was back behind you. Actually, no, let's go into the middle of it again. Not the stuff that's in the pile, but go back to where your body is. And everything that's back behind you again. In the pile. Encapsulate. Everything from down below. Encapsulate. Everything from way out front in the future. In the pile. Everything that's piled up above you. You may need a bulldozer. Into the pile. Encapsulate. Everything from the left. In the pile. Everything from the right. And then everything from inside your body, just kind of strip all that stuff out. Everything that's not you, not yours, in the pile. Encapsulate. And everything remaining from anywhere in the pile. In the pile. And then encapsulate. And body, planet, let that go, not you, not yours. Out loud.
Let that go, not you, not yours.
Never was yours, never was yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go. And keep repeating that. Not you, not yours, let that go, let that go. Not you, not yours, let that go. Never was yours, never was yours, let that go. And your body needs to hear your voice. And in your native language too. If your native language isn't English, say it in your native language and your body will respond better. Let this go, not you, not yours. Never was yours, never was yours. And you'll feel a relaxing. There you go. Yeah. And everything remaining, can we now shrink all that stuff down so small it becomes non-existent, less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. And we're going to imagine this giant pile, and then we've contained it, and now we're going to just kind of imagine /intend that it's now half the size. And it's now half the size of that, and 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 half, until it's so small, ceases to exist. And then we'll vaporize anything remaining. Big ball of flame. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow, cool. And now let's try expanding and see what it feels like now. So now expand to bigger than the solar system in all directions. Ooh, there we go. And bigger than the universe in all directions. Wow. Wow. There you go. And bigger than the multiverse, all the multiple universes, and there's lots of them. Just intend to get bigger than all of them in all directions. And double that, it's bigger than that, double that, double that, double that in all directions. Including up, just kind of flow around anything that may be up higher. And flow down. And flow back. And flow up front. And to the left. Wow. And to the right. And way out front. I don't know if I said that. And expand to bigger than the multiverse. Wow. And now expand to bigger than the beyondiverse. And don't think about it. Just invite yourself to do that. It's a space that we've defined, and I keep playing with how big that is. So just kind of find where that is. There you go. Yeah. You'll feel it when you're there. You just are like, ooh, what is this? And now expand to bigger than the infinite realms. Again, don't think about it. Just intend to do that, including down. Wow, including to the left, to the right, way up front, up above, back behind. And now connect into your infinite being. Don't think about it. Just do it. It's your source. It's your essence. You'll feel it when you do. You just feel this kind of movement of energy. And now invite your body to connect into what I call the infinite symbiotic planet. So picture the living planet has a source or its essence, its spirit, if you want, outside of all that this is. Invite your body to connect to the source of the infinite symbiotic planet or the infinite planet. And you'll feel it viscerally in your body when you nail it. And it's not synthetic. It's like pure, natural, juicy planetness. This is what it feels like. So we're inviting your body to connect to the actual source of the planet, not just, and the planet itself. And how does that feel? Anybody want to share out loud?
It almost feels sensual.
Yeah. 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 When body's connected to the planet, it does. It's got that juicy, kind of mildly orgasmic feeling about it. Yeah. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I love it. I love this exercise. Yeah. Cool. Anybody else?
Thank you.
I feel very grounded.
Yeah. 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 But like a big, spacious grounded, like just an easy, like this is the way it should be kind of grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anybody else?
Jaden?
Yeah.
Connecting to the planet, my body just melts into it. It's juicy, melting, just like it became like liquefying, just and it wonderful. And
so don't do another topic. Don't do another topic. I would just want to stay with this for the moment. Yeah. So hold that thought. We'll come back. So this is like, you'll notice whatever anxiousness you had when you started just kind of went, right? So this is the first, and the free version has this, if you want to get the more sophisticated, the newer version, it has this. This is the first exercise that I recommend you start with. It just is like, wow. And every time you hang out with other people or every time you listen to other people, until you practice this enough where it becomes natural, you want to do the expand thing. And how this works up here is like, I'll just scan this during the day. Anytime I feel funky, I'll be like, body, how much are we contracted or small? And if it feels light or really off, that's the one I'll do. How much do we have entities, aliens? How much are we in somebody else's universe or in somebody else's frequency? How much are we in synthetic realities? How much are we on identities? I just ask body each one of those, and whichever ones are light or indicate to me that there's a lot of stuff in that, then I'll go and I'll run that that clearing, that specific thing that gets me out of whatever it is that I'm looking at. But do the expand thing at least once or twice a day. The more you do that, the more your body and being get used to living in that big space. And when you hang out with other people, you won't contract into their space anymore. But it takes practice. Your body and being need to know, this is where I'm choosing to live. I choose to live in this big space. And after you do that for a while, it becomes hard to engage the stupidity of this world without contracting. Like, because that's how they get tangled. They contract, and then they're not perceiving all the biggerness of things, and they lose things. So step one, expand. Questions on expanding?
Yes, I have a question. That's exactly what I was. Yeah, I experienced some difficulties with expansion recently. Like it's like when maybe I don't, and it just appears like I do. For my usual expansion, it's way, if there's such thing as usual expansion, but it seems like my sphere of awareness, it doesn't expand evenly. And if I put attention on expanding forward, the other parts start.
Yeah,
like
so let me pause you because I get it. Let me get it. So what you want to do is recognize that when you expand, there are energies that are, see, you're an infinite being. It's the way I can prove that you're an infinite being. When you expand beyond the infinite realms, you're like, yeah, I'm home, right?
Yeah.
And so when for beings who were created on this, they're like constructs of this planet or constructs of the solar system or constructs of the universe alone, they can't expand beyond. And so as you expand and things come up and go, no, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. Just leave them behind, because they're not you, and they're not infinite beings. So they can't expand. One of the cool things about expanding is you see who you are versus who everything else is. Because the other things are like, I'll explode if I go that big. And you're right, you will. So you better stay there. And it allows you to separate from all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I've been identifying like my awareness of those things with me.
Exactly. And that's what happens when you're contracted. You don't know who you are versus the weird shit of this reality. As you expand to the infinite realms, there's nothing that's not an infinite being that can follow you. And the invaders, the exploiters, the entities, aliens, all that kind of stuff is not bigger than that. Like, you're bigger than all that stuff. You don't know that when you're in it, but when you expand and if it does not know how to expand, if it's afraid of expanding, leave it behind, banish it.
You're just saying it like in my whole world just like singing with joy.
Yay! Cool. Thank you. Great question. Thank you. Thank you. Other questions? Cool. Okay. So this is, I love this exercise for starting things. So I want to look at the virus thing itself, and I want to share with you just kind of the background about how this works. Zoe, I had to mute your line because it was making noise. So let me get this set here. So we've looked at am I being something else, and I'm not going to go deeper in that, but that's always the first thing that I do. The next thing is, so let's scan this. So this is called clearing diagnostics. It's how you can diagnose what needs to be cleared in your reality. And not everything needs cleared. Sometimes you have to choose, sometimes you have to ask questions, sometimes you have to take action. But if you need to clear, this is how you can tell, what do I need to clear? So it's like, what is everywhere that you're being, so am I being something else and not me? And I just have to perceive what comes up. And if you've expanded, often you might be leaving a lot of that behind unless you got amino acid stuff going on. do you have, or do I have fixed points of view that are locking down or obstructing me around the virus thing? And you feel like there's energy that comes up. It's like, okay, so we have something from that column to clear. Do we have agreements that are binding us to this topic? Do you have energies that come up there? There's agreements. Do you have bindings and rebindings that are locking you down or obstructing? I can feel some people do, some people don't. Do you have active or covert manipulation going on? Actually, surprisingly, a lot of people don't. Some people do. And how much is it something else that's not in any of the rest of this chart? Very little bit for a couple people. So I want to start. So what I teach people to do, or recommend that people do, is actually just, if you've got a big issue that messes with you, and I don't care whether it's a relationship issue, a money issue, whatever that issue is, to start in this column, fixed points of view, and just do all the clearings all the way over. Now you'd need to know what all those are, but we're gonna do the core ones that are on the simplified version here today. Here's how this works with fixed points of view. So I went to watch this video, and here's this expert who has all of these, he knows what this is about, okay? And he's spouting out, this is important, this is important, this is important, this is important. This reality works around what I call fixed points of view. They're viewpoints, ways of looking at things that they've decided are true. And the lie here is if you take in all the right truths, then your reality is going to be beautiful and great and everything's going to work for you. And that's the lie. Because what happens is each one of those truths is a polarized point of view. So it's kind of like a magnet. And so it's like they're saying, this is the right way to look at this, which means there's a wrong way to look at that. And what it is, kind of like, it's a stick. So when you grab the right way, you're on one end of the stick. But when you grab one end of the stick, you're automatically grabbing the whole stick. So you're grabbing the opposite polarity, the opposite point of view, and all the points of view that are in between there. So you can't actually grab any point of view and claim that to be important or true without grabbing the opposite point of view. And by design, for an infinite being, it's going to fuck with you. Straight up, it's going to fuck with you. So if you've noticed, as soon as you grab a point of view about this is true, and then you start surfing out there, you're going to inevitably find the opposite point of view. And it's like, the virus is true. It's a real thing. It's a solid thing. So what do you find? Oh, no, this is a hoax. This is bullshit. Governments are making this up just to control people and lock things down. They're doing this. There's a bigger agenda here. And I'm not saying none of this is true. I'm saying that as soon as you grab one polarity, you're going to start to grab the other polarity, and then you're back and forth. You're playing like this mental ping pong game in your mind of, this is true. No, that's true. No, this is true. No, that's true. This is true. And there's no way out of it. You ever notice that? Like, you can't reason your way out of it. Anybody else notice that? Like, you try to think your way out and it just kind of doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the reason that is because it's a trap. You're not designed to be able to think your way out of it. You're supposed to just lock into a polarity. My interesting point of view, and this may not be for muggles, this may just be for infinite beings. I'm not going to define that for them. I can say for me, no matter what fixed point of view I have, by holding on to one side of that polarity, I'm automatically going to be engaging or bringing up this other side, one way or another.
That's good. That's good.
So it's like the solution to that is to not have any fixed points of view. Like, I perceive the information that's out there. It's like, oh, interesting point of view, as Gary Douglas would say, interesting point of view, they have that point of view. It's like, oh, interesting. They believe that there's this giant virus running around that's going to kill everybody. Interesting. And other people believe that there's no virus at all. Interesting. That's how you hold it. It's just like, I don't care what's true. I'm just noticing this is out there and this is out there, and I'm being informed by noticing it, but I'm not bringing that point of view in and going, this is really important. I need to hang on to this or I could die. And then all kinds of other weird shit kicks in, right? So it's like the fixed points of view are the first layer of bullshit that this reality uses to lock you down. And when you have the point of view, it gets your brain tangled and it gives fear something to grab onto. And the only way out of it that I've ever found, and I'm not saying it's the only way out, it's the only way I've ever found, is to choose to let go of those points of view. So let's do that around this whole concept of the COVID virus or viruses in general, or the fear around that. The first thing we want to do is clear the points of view. So what tangled with me as I watched this video, and I took on this point of view. So I walked away going, yeah, you know, this guy's right. This is real and this is true and this is this and this is that and this is important and we should be doing this and we should be doing that. And it seemed harmless enough, but coming from a space of being clear before and feeling good, all of a sudden now I had this gnawing feeling and I couldn't quite let it go. And I'm like, you know, this is not the whole truth. And I'm like, wow, what is that? Like, no, there's something else going on. There's a conspiracy here. I'm feeling the other side of the polarity from this guy's point of view. It's out there. I can feel it as an infinite being. It's there. And that started gnawing at my reality, and I couldn't let that go. What is that? It's just not me. Bottom line, it's not me. So let's first clear all the points of view that prevent your awareness from perceiving what really is true. And so allow yourself to perceive what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, and cloaking around all of these topics. Wow. All the Wernicke's commands and booby traps around all of this. Those are tangly. And what are all the covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energies around all this? Wow. And can we put all that in the pile?
Yes, I choose
Yeah,
that.
I choose that. All in the pile and encapsulate, and everything from down below in the pile, and everything from back behind in the pile, and everything from up above for us and the planet. Like, we're expanded so big. And truth is, you naturally are feeling a part of the planet pretty much all the time. So everything you clear, you're pretty much always clearing for the planet. So do it consciously. Like, it helps. All of it in the pile. And everything from the left in the pile, everything from the right in the pile, and everything from inside, just kind of strip that out and in the pile. And always say, body, planet, let that go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go. And you're facilitating not only your body, you're also facilitating the planet. Because my awareness is that your body is an aspect of the planet. You are intimately connected to the planet. You're a piece of the planet walking around like a wave is a piece of the ocean. It's not separate from the ocean, even though it's kind of standing up, or even if it splashes onto the shore, it still is a piece of the ocean, like your body is a piece of the planet. So coach the planet into clearing too. Like, why not? Let's clear big. Let's clear it for the whole planet where we can. So body, planet, let that go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go.
Not you, not yours.
And you should feel your body relax. If you haven't, say it again. And just keep repeating it until your body gets that you're talking to, oh, you're talking to me? And everything remaining, can we shrink that down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. And this is how the infinite being, one of the ways the infinite being clears. And shrink down half size, and half, and half, and half, and half, and half, and half, and less than nothing. Ceases to exist and vaporize. And how you clear, I don't care. If you want to podpoc, if you want to, whatever modality you use to clear, use whatever you're comfortable with, whatever feels good to you. I don't have attachment to it. It's just, there's your being clearing, and that's the modality. And then there's your body clearing. And that's just inviting your body, let that go, let that go, let that go. It's that easy. Okay, so that's, and we'll come back to this a number of times. This is the stuff that prevents your consciousness from being aware. But now, what do you do with the polarity? Yeah. So I'm going to start down here, actually. What is everything that you decided that this virus, the COVID thing, all the stuff that's going on with the governments, all the stuff that's going on with the people here, what is everything you decided all this stuff means that it doesn't actually mean? And just perceive that pile of stuff, get behind it, get your bulldozer.
Kind definition.
Yes, I'm being polite. And in the pile, and encapsulate, seal it up so it can't run away. And body, planet, let that go, not you, not yours. Let that go, not you, not yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go. And now lives have to perceive, what is everything you decided all this stuff means? The COVID virus, the insanity with the government, and all this stuff going on. What is everything you decided all this stuff means that it doesn't actually mean? Yuck. And get back behind that, bulldozer, into the same pile, and encapsulate all that. And body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Let it go. Let it go.
Not you, not yours.
And now let's grab everything from down below for us and the planet. Bulldozer. Into the pile. It's a pretty big pile. Encapsulate. And everything from back behind for us and the planet. Everything up above for us and the planet. Everything way out front. The pile. Everything from the left. Everything from the right. Yeah. Why is that heavier? And then everything from inside. In the pile, in the pile, in the pile. And wow, that felt different. And body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go. Let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Wow. 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 And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yes, I choose
Yes,
that.
I choose that. Cease to exist.
And half size, half, get smaller, 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 smaller. Just disappears. And if you're actually doing it, you'll feel a point where it just is like, there's almost like it feels to me like this energetic little supernova. It goes, and then it's just, there's nothing there anymore. You're like, oh. So yeah, you can actually perceive it if you play with that for a while. Okay, so what is everything that was the benefit or value of holding on to the points of view that you've had about the virus? Just allow yourself to perceive what is everything that was the benefit or value of it. And at some time there was, or you wouldn't have chosen it. And often this can be for the body, though being can have benefit or value too. So what is everything that was the benefit or value at some point of holding on to these points of view about the virus and the government and what's happening? And what is everything that was not the benefit or value? Oh, there we go. There's next to nothing in the first pile, and bulldozer. So everything that all this is in the pile, wow, and encapsulate. Wow, and body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Never was yours. Never was yours. Let that go. Wow, wow, and everything from down below. Everything from back behind, everything from up above, way up front, from the left, from the right, everything from inside, outside, everything remaining in the pile, encapsulate, and body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Let it go. Tell your body out loud. Not you, not yours. Never was yours. Never was yours. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Wow, there we go. And can we shrink all that down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah,
Yes, I choose
Yes, I choose that.
Boo!
Yes.
And half, and vaporize. I'm just vaporizing anything that may happen to be left, partially because I like doing that. And yeah, I don't know if you think there's stuff left, but so this is just kind of this is the weird tangly stuff. This, the spectrum clearing, is what actually grabs all these points of view. And let me share with you how this works, and then we'll run it. So the cool thing about spectrum clearing is what a lot of other modalities will do is they'll pick a certain topic and they'll grab on it and they'll say, well, you got to clear this for a long time. You got to clear this for multiple days. You got to clear it for multiple hours or multiple weeks or multiple months or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's like, you got to keep clearing. And I'm like, dude, what does it take to just grab all this stuff and clear it once? So my research into doing that put this package of things together. And here's how this works. And Gary Douglas came up with parts of this. It's like how this polarity thing works is, so you have this point of view about something. Somebody's making a lot of noise. I'm going to mute.
Simona.
Yeah. Sorry. So you've got this point of view. Let's say, oh, there's this virus and this is like really, 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 really important. And oh, there's all this stuff. You know, it's even harder to say that now. It feels different already. But so that's your aligning, and you're like, yes, this is true. This is real. This is important. That's you aligning and agreeing with it. But because you're grabbing actually a continuum, it's like attached to a stick, you also are attached to the resistance and reacting to it. You're attached to the part of it that's like, no, there's no virus. I shouldn't be affected by this. This should not be in our reality. This does not belong to us. This does not belong here. Like, you're on the opposite side. Like, it's kind of like if you're in duality, if you're in a polarized reality, if you lock onto one side, the other side is there. It's connected. As an infinite being, you're going to feel it. So when you claim this side is true or the other side, you're automatically connected to the opposite side, and you're going to get the effect of that, and it's going to show up in your reality in terms of struggle. So what do we do to clear it? We're going to call up everything that we're aligning and agreeing with and everything resisting and reacting at the same time. And what we do is we grab the whole stick. We grab the whole continuum. Hang on, my computer is complaining. Okay. We grab the whole continuum. We're going to grab all of it. Okay. Now, that's just the first layer of it. You've got the aligning and agreeing. It's like, yeah, there's the virus out there, and yeah, it's going to kill me, and blah, 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 blah. And then there's the defending for that. That's the scaling up. It's the bigger, more powerful version of that. It's, wow, like, this virus is important, and I need to tell everybody, you need to stay home, and this is really, really scary, and this is really dangerous, and like, this is important. Like, big, you're actually defending for it. It's a bigger energy. And you may not have all of it, or you may not even have a lot of it, but we want to check it even if you don't think that you've got it, because interference does some interesting things. They'll manipulate you to take it on. And then obviously that has its opposite too, defending against. It's like, no, this is all bullshit. We as humans don't have this, or we as infinite beings don't have this. This is a government conspiracy. Like, and we need to tell people, and if everybody got it, this would all go away, right? That's the defending against. There's now, that's that scale. There's now a scale I'm going to call above that, and it's called righteous for. And religion's made this popular. It's like, we're going to ignore all logic and rationality, and we're just going to go into if you don't believe this, you should be smitten, wiped off the face of this planet. You've seen people like, if you don't believe in the virus, you should catch it and you should be out of here. And then you'll believe in it, right? It's this like bizarro, like off the deep end. That's righteous for. Righteous against, it's obviously just the opposite of that. The righteous level is often an indicator of active interference in your reality. It's like interference comes through this righteous layer. You can think of it as these gods come down and they're like, no, you need to make sure that you're willing to smite people for not thinking of this correctly. Like, it's a weird, let's just say that there's interference. That's how that comes down. Even if you don't intend to go there, interference will press upon this. And that brought up all kinds of stupid shit. So everything that's up or active, can we all have
Yes, I choose that. Yes, I choose that.
Encapsulate and body planet, let that go. It's sealed off. Okay. So body, planet, let it go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. So that's my explanation of this clearing. Let's actually run it now. So allow yourself to perceive everywhere you're aligning and agreeing with the virus. Like, yes, it's real, it's true. And now here's where you're gonna need to use your infinite being and not get stuck. The way to screw this up, or the way to not let go of it, is to go, well, no, I don't actually believe that. I actually believe there is no virus, so I don't have anything around aligning and agreeing. What you're doing is you're actually stuck in this polarity over here, so you can't even perceive any energy that's here. I will make this statement: if you have some energy on one side, this reality is going to slowly start filtering the energy in on the other side, even if you didn't intend it. So you don't want to get caught in any point of view. The goal is to let go of the point of view and not have a point of view about it. So if you notice yourself in, well, no, I don't have anything there, so there's no point in even looking at that side. You have something there, and you want to clear that. That's what's fucking with you. Okay, so allow yourself to perceive everywhere you're aligning and agreeing. What is all the aligning and agreeing that you and body have around the virus? Okay, and it's just that energy. Just notice that pile, and leave it there for a moment. Just become aware of it, because we want to grab the opposite side too. And this takes a bit of practice, but when you practice it, you become masterful at this, and things don't mess with you in the same way they did before. Now allow yourself to perceive everywhere you're resisting and reacting to the virus. This should not be happening. There is no virus. This is not really real. This is all bullshit. This is all made up. Everywhere you're resisting and reacting to. Okay, and now allow yourself to perceive everywhere you're aligning and agreeing and resisting and reacting. And now notice it's just this big tangled mess. That's what it feels like. And that's what keeps you in a big tangled mess. So we're gonna, let's hold it. That's good practice. Ideally, you do all 6 of these together. If it's too much, you can put the top rung in the pile, but it's best to practice holding more points of view at the same time. Now, allow yourself to perceive wherever you're defending for the virus. Yes, yeah, I need to tell everybody they need to stay home. You need to isolate yourself. You need to believe that this is real. Wherever you're defending for, and it may not be that strong, but even a little bit. Wherever you're defending against, we need to tell everybody this is not real. Okay? And now we mix that with the aligning, agreeing, resisting, reacting. And wherever that you're righteous for, and wherever that you're righteous against. So now when you have all 6 of those in, all that continuum, it's just this big, yucky, messy kind of, bleh. That's what your life is like. That's why things feel so shitty. So let's grab all of that, step behind it, and can we bulldoze all that into the pile?
Yes.
Yeah, I choose that.
Yes, I choose.
Yes, I choose that.
And put it out in front of you and encapsulate. And what you're doing is you're basically energetically distancing yourself. You're saying, this is not I. This is not me. I am not those things. I'm separate from that. So we're going to tell our body that. Body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Never was yours. Never was yours. Let that
You,
go.
not yours. Not you, not yours.
Body, not you, not yours. Never was yours.
Not you, not yours.
Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours.
Yours, body, let it go, not yours, never was yours. Planet, let it go, not yours, never
now let's go grab the biggerness of it. Okay, so that's just the stuff that we could feel. So now allow yourself to perceive all the stuff that's down below for you and the planet around aligning and agreeing. Let me call it back up again. Leave what's in the pile. I'll reactivate what's around left. Wherever that you're aligning and agreeing with the virus and the points of view, resisting and reacting to it, defending for it, defending against it, righteous for it, righteous against it. Notice it's not so much because a lot of it's in the pile, but everything that you notice from down below for you and the planet, back behind, up above, yuck. From way out front, future, from the left, from the right, wow, encapsulate, and everything remaining from inside you and the planet in the pile. And body, encapsulate, body, planet, let that go, not you, not yours, never was yours, Let that go. Let that go. Let that go.
Let that go. Not you, not yours,
Ah,
never was yours.
never was yours. Never was yours. Let it go. All. Let it all go. Let it all go.
Let it all go.
There you go. And can we shrink everything remaining down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. Boo!
I
And
choose
half,
that.
I choose that.
ceases to exist. And wow. Now, so let's go back to the fixed points of view. Now, allow yourself to think about the virus. And wow, it's like, if I try, I have difficulty even going into the point of view to talk about it. It's like, yeah, this virus is real and it's true and it's going to take over and it's going to kill everybody. Or no, this isn't real or it's true. Notice it just feels different. How does it feel now?
No thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's nothing there that keeps tugging at you from any side. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's really light.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like space. Anybody else?
Yeah, a lot.
How does it feel?
I have a little maybe something came up. I'm not sure. With all this virus, or maybe not virus, the whole situation, I had more peace.
Okay, so we
than I
haven't
had-
finished. We haven't finished yet. I can feel what you're on. We'll clear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you notice
It's
that
now-
you notice that you can't think about it the same way anymore?
Mm-mm.
I
Alexandra.
wasn't really thinking.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the polarity that it's the bottom line thing that everybody on the planet gets tangled in. This is the first level. So no matter what topic you're doing, you want to start with clearing fixed points of view, always. Like if you just go and clear agreements and you just go randomly clearing things and you mix the fixed points of view, it's just not going to help. Start with fixed points of view. So now let's go do the next layer. So allow yourself to perceive what are all the agreements that you have around viruses or the COVID virus or what's going on around this. It's just an energy that comes up. And so I'm going to zoom in, wrong way. So anytime that you feel hopeless about something, like hopeless to clear, hopelessness will ever change, like it just feels hopeless. Hopeless is the indicator of an agreement. That's it. The frequency of hopelessness means you have agreements that are locking you down, period. It doesn't mean it's hopeless. Hopeless is the signature of agreements. That's it. So when you feel hopeless about something and you become aware of it, like I get excited. I'm like, woohoo, hopeless. Yeah, that means agreements. Because I know I can spend 2 minutes tops and clear all the agreements. Poof, gone. So hopeless is one form of agreement. The other form is impossible. If something feels impossible to change, like when if you feel the virus and it's like, oh, this is hopeless. This is never going to change. My way of interacting with it is never going to change. It's simply agreements. If you feel impossible, like this is impossible to change. This is just absolutely never going to change. There's no way this can change. It's impossible. The frequency of impossible simply means a different kind of agreement that I call secured agreements. And we'll run that as well. Okay. So if you feel impossible or hopeless around agreements, it just means you have an agreement. You just run that kind of agreement clearing, gone. It's really, 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 really that simple. So let's allow yourself to perceive all the agreements you have around viruses, COVID, the way you should interact with it, the way government's interacting with it, all the agreements you have around anything related to what's up or active. And what are all the oaths, vows, commitments, communities, fealties, swearings, promises, agreements, contracts, entry, exit agreements, re-entry agreements, divine, golden, billion, trillion year agreements. Oh, those are a lot of them are. Safety clauses, protection clauses, or allegiances, alliances, loyalties, diplomatic relations. Wow, feel all that kind of tangly ass shit? Yeah. So can we choose to destroy and create all of that stuff?
Yes, I choose
Yeah,
that.
I choose that. And I usually
Yes.
will say this: resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void. Honestly, make null and void. If you're in a hurry, just say make null and void, make null and void, 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 null and void.
Null and void. Null and void.
Null and
Make null and void.
Null and void. Null and void. Null and void.
And
Null
notice
and void.
how that changed. Now, if you were in a space of feeling hopeless before, it probably feels less. Hopeless also, you see this little arrow over here. Hopeless also goes into the binds. So we'll go clear those as well. But so that's the first layer of agreement. The next one is allow yourself to perceive all the lineage agreements you have that bind you to the virus and bind you to the points of view of the government. I don't perceive a whole lot of that stuff. But if you do, the lineage agreements clearing is you can clear them the same as secured agreements. So if you do feel that you have some of those, everywhere that you have a lineage agreements, and it's kind of like your lineage, your line, your family line, and I picture like, it's like this, the line is the line there, and then the Christmas lights on my picture here are like all the people who are attached to it. Any lineage agreements you have, and you may have multiple lineages even beyond what your mind would think you should have, just put all those up on imagine a screen up in front of you, and just put them all up and lock them there if you have them. Most people on the call don't have them, but if you do, put them up there. So let's now do secured agreements. Secured agreements are also known as third-party agreements. The world calls them curses. They're basically just an agreement between you and it could be, it's usually interference of some kind. And then there's like a third party that's kind of like a bureaucracy. Think about it as a governmental organization. It's an institution of kind. It can be like feel like a banking institution. It can feel like a typical government institution. And it's like an agreement that's held by a third party. Think about it as a mortgage. It's like a mortgage is an agreement between you and a bank that's then held by a mortgage broker. It's held by a mortgage firm. It's held by a third party that holds that agreement to keep both of you honest. All we have to do is engage that third party, which is an organization of some kind, and that releases secured agreements. That's the only difference. Secured agreements, you can't release on your own. You have to release in cooperation with this third party, and they have to provide you the capacity to do that. They're required to do that. That's the way a secured agreement works. So allow yourself to perceive all the secured agreements that you have around viruses, around agreeing with the way or disagreeing with the way society functions, everything around that's upper active around, that you have that are secured agreements. Everything that feels impossible to change. Wow. And allow yourself to put all those up on the screen too and lock them there, like bolt them down, freeze them, lock them there so they can't change. We'll take a snapshot of them so they can't run away. So allow yourself to perceive secured agreements are often hidden down below, kind of, you've got your surface, your reality. They're just down below the surface of reality, down in front of you. It's a heavy, dark place. So allow yourself to perceive all the secured agreements down there and put those up on the screen. Freeze lock. Freeze lock. Snapshot. Now allow yourself to perceive all the secured agreements from down below, up in the screen, back behind, up in the screen, lock, way up front or up top, up front, left, right, or any secured agreements that are stored in your body. And freeze lock, take a snapshot of all of that stuff. So it's like, if it runs away, we got a picture, we have evidence, we know where it is. So now allow yourself to, I'm going to skip that for now. So here's where we're going to go back to expanding. So allow yourself to expand to bigger than the universe. I'll take it a step at a time. So allow yourself to expand to bigger than the solar system. and bigger than the universe. And notice there are some things there that are like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do it. Just leave them behind. It's not you. And expand to bigger than the multiverse, all the multiple universes, and bigger than the infinite realms. Wow. And allow yourself to connect into your infinite being. Whoa. And now invite your body to connect into the infinite planet. And everything that is still screaming like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, just kind of put all that in the pile. And actually, a lot of them are entities. So what are all the entities? Demonics, creatures, coalition aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, God, non-contributive energies and frequencies, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all, freeze, tap down, trace, scan it all. I'm actually doing, it's this up here. We'll look at that a little bit more later, but sorry. So pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all, freeze, tap down, trace, scan it all, and all their networks, hive, civilizations, universe, and all their customers, clients, share hosts, stock codes, board of directors, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all. What is everything we agreed we would do for them, they agreed they would do for us? Was the benefit of elevating engaging and not the benefit of elevating engaging? Can we just try and create all those agreements?
Yes, I choose
Yes, I choose that. Resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, null, void, null, void, null, void, null, void, null. And can we banish all these energies from all dimensions, realities, parallels, virtual reality, world simulations?
Yes, I choose
Oh
this.
yeah, I choose that. And out.
Yes, I choose out.
Out. Banish, out. Banish, out. Banish. And body plant, let all this stuff go. Not you, not yours. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Not yours, not yours, not yours.
Let it go, not you, not yours.
And out, banish anchors, banish anchors. And that's, I'll explain that another time. But for the moment, just intend to let go of all that stuff. You don't have to, but if you're ready to let them go, feel free to let them go. Okay, so now expand to bigger than the universe, multiverse, beyond that, bigger than the infinite realms. Connect into your infinite being. About your body, connect into the infinite planet. It should feel quieter and a little easier to do that. And now from this space, so secured agreements are an agreement that basically says, when you meet this contract, this and this and this and this, then we'll release this agreement. Well, we're infinite beings. We have the capacity to grab any energy in all that is. So just allow yourself to perceive what are all the energies that are desired or required in order to release these secured agreements. And they're just energies. Some are weird, some are funky, some are yucky, some are whatever. It doesn't matter. And allow yourself to ask those energies to amplify themselves to precisely what's required. Ask the frequency match those energies to the recipients who we're going to give them to. I'm going to mute some people here with noise. And now we're going to grab those energies, stack them up like paperwork. Picture we're going to some government institution. We're going to stack all that paperwork up. Here's all the paperwork that you wanted. So we're just taking all those energies and stacking them. And then we're going to hand them over on the screen to where those secured agreements are. Those institutions, just hand everything they require over. It's just like handing the pile of paperwork they want, all in triplicate. Just hand it over. Okay? And now there's two parts to this. One is contributing to them the things they require. The other part is what I call receiving. So allow yourself to perceive everything they desire, require, demand of you or your body to embody or become more of in order to release these agreements. And sometimes it's the very same thing. Sometimes it's like, well, when you're strong and powerful and you know who you are, then we'll release this agreement. And others are stupid shit. Like, when you're the Queen of England, I'll release this agreement. Or when pigs fly, I'll release this agreement. It's like, okay, so fine. We'll just grab the energy of pigs flying and I'm the Queen of England. And we embody that energy. And then they're like, oh, you did it. Okay. Fine, we release this agreement. That's what this is like. So you're just going to engage it on a level that's fun and playful. So allow yourself to perceive everything they desire, require, demand of you to embody or become more of. And it's usually kind of weird, squirrely energies. It's like, yeah. So allow those energies to amplify. Ask those energies to amplify times a fun zillion. So it's always fun. However you engage it, it's going to be fun. and then ask those energies to frequency match to your advantage. So it's like they're going to alter, change, rotate in such a way that they still are what they are for the agreement, but they're going to be to your advantage in all ways. And then grab those energies and bring them into, and allow yourself to receive them only to your advantage. So receive to your advantage. So if it doesn't feel to your advantage, rotate it a different way or just let it go and receive it. So now that you're the Queen of England and the pigs happen to fly, like they have no reason to not let go of the agreement. So we're going to do that. We're going to do these two things twice. Well, 2 more times, 3 times total. So what is everything remaining these agreements desire require? And ask those energies to amplify to precisely what's required. Frequency match them to the recipients of who you're going to give it to. Stack it up like paperwork for each recipient, and then hand over the piles. Here you go. 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 Don't wrestle with them. Don't tangle with them. It's like going into the government office. You don't speak nasty to them. You go, what do you require? We require this. Here you are. Simple. It's a transaction. That's it. And because the agreement holder, they have nothing to do with it. They're just handling this transaction. Now, what is everything remaining they desire require of you to embody or become more of as an infinite being in order to release this agreement? Ask all those energies to amplify times a funzillion, so they're fun. Frequency match to your advantage in all ways, and receive to your local advantage. If you're doing it right, it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, just throw it out. Like, no, that's not the right way. And as you do this, and if you can see it on the screen, some people can track it on the screen. If you can't, don't worry about it. The more you do this, the easier it gets. You'll notice there's like less and less. I actually sometimes perceive as it completes, the institution falls off the screen. Sometimes I'll even hear sound effects of like thud on the floor. It's like it becomes less and less. You feel more free. I usually do this 3 times. So allow yourself to perceive all the remaining agreements that are up there. And if they haven't released it this time, sometimes it's like you're looking at the side of the institution or the back door or the front door, but actually the way you need to engage them is the back door. Like, or it's underneath the building, you got to come up from the basement or whatever. Like, allow yourself to perceive what is the actual entrance to get things done, and rotate that organization in that way and freeze lock it again. Snapshot. And what is everything remaining that these agreements desire require? These agreement holders, in order to rectify, resolve, release them. Ask those energies to amplify to precisely what's required. Frequency match to the recipients, stack it up like paperwork, and hand it over. Here you are. And what is everything remaining they desire require of us to embody or become in order to release those agreements? And amplify it times a funzillion, so it's fun. Frequency match it to your local advantage in all ways, and receive to your advantage. And anybody have any of them left on the screen? Or does it feel like they're clear?
I think I do. I keep hearing a no, can't, and I keep banishing it, but it seems to still be there.
Yeah, so how much do you have something still there, or how much is it something messing with you? Something messing with you. So what's common with clearing is if you have active, let me jump out here. If you have active interference, my interesting point of view is once you get advanced, so this reality locks you down with fixed points of view. And if it can keep you unconscious with that, it will. Fixed points of view, agreements, and binds, it'll use that to keep you unconscious. Once you've broken free from that, they start to send active and covert manipulation. The entities, demonics, creatures, coalition aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, gods, angels, light beings, slippery beings. They send those guys to come mess with you. And the way you know that they're in your area is exactly what she's saying, is if you're clearing and you get things saying, nope, that's not working. No, you can't clear that. Nope, that's never going to work. And you kind of hear it in your head or in your voice. That's likely active manipulation. Just ignore it. They're trying to get you to stop clearing because they know that if you clear it, they're screwed, and they want to mess with you in any way they can. So don't stop clearing when you hear those voices. Banish the voices. We'll come back to that. So yeah, it felt heavy about that you have those. So we won't. But is there anybody else who feels like you have secured agreements?
I think Jaden, I may have one in a different language, but is that the same thing? I saw the different language.
Yeah,
like
there
I
still
couldn't.
is. Yeah. Okay. So anybody still perceives that you have secured agreements?
Yes.
Like there's still an
I do, Mr. Jaden.
Very good. Okay, thank you. So I'll remain secured agreements. Again, rotate it so you see it correctly. Freeze lock. Just intend to see the front of the organization. That's it. Freeze lock. Yeah. And now, what is everything remaining that these agreements desire or require? Expand to bigger than the universe, bigger than the multiverse, bigger than the beyond-verse, beyond that, bigger than the infinite realms. What is everything they desire or require in order to rectify, resolve, release these agreements? And ask those energies to amplify times a funzillion, frequency match to your local advantage. Or no, I'm sorry, frequency match to them. Stack it up like paperwork and hand it over to them. There you are. Ooh, that did something. Okay. And what is everything remaining that they desire or require of you to embody or become more of? And ask all those energies to amplify times a funzillion, so it's fun. Frequency match to your advantage and receive to your advantage. There you go. And if they still haven't cleared, just keep re-listening to this, but it's cleared for almost everybody in the group. So everything remaining up in Agreementville, there's like old garbage. Can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose
that.
Yeah, I choose that.
Yes, I choose that.
And vaporize. Oh, vaporize, stick by, reset, okay, vaporize, stick by, no way.
Mr. Jaden, could you also clear the timeline wars, please?
Okay, so I'm not right now. No, I'm going to call that a distraction at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Because anyone who's got interference in their reality, they'll automatically have interference. Will go, oh, you need to go clear this, and they'll send you off on this wild goose chase to not do the process or not do what is actually the core elements of something. And that's what that feels like to me, Zoe. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just stick with me for the moment here. So what I do is I'll clear all of the core stuff first, then I'll go goose chases. So if you want to write that down and then go play with that later, go for it. But for the moment, let's stick with this. Okay. So now allow yourself to perceive what are all the agreements that you have around this topic. This feels very different. Okay. So let's do the next category, binds. So allow yourself to perceive what are the binds or rebindings that you have around the virus thing or around aligning with the craziness that's going on or resisting the craziness that's going on. Anything that connects you to weird stuff that's going on with this. And allow yourself to perceive all the binds, double binds, triple binds, quadruple binds, binds to infinitum, all the auto install, all the auto reinstall, backup systems, black meta technologies, anchors, magics, and signatories. Can we destroy and create all of those?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah,
yes,
I choose that. And resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void, 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 null and void. And body planet, let those go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Let those go. Let those go. We're running low on time, so I'm gonna do this quickly here. So allow yourself to perceive all the programs that are up or active. What are the programs that you have engaged here? What are programs, algorithms, or data streams that are up or active? Wow. And just allow yourself to grab whatever those are and up on the screen. Freeze lock. And everything from down below, freeze lock, back behind, up above, freeze lock, way up front, from the left, from the right, and all programs, data streams, freeze lock, freeze lock, freeze lock. And that, so this is how we clear programs. They're like running, I'm not going to explain. We'll just do it. So repeat after me. All intercessions exterminate here now.
All intercessions exterminate
here now.
And we're just giving commands to these programs. All interconnections exterminate here now.
All interconnections exterminate here now.
All intercommunications exterminate here now.
All intercommunications exterminate here now.
And all programs terminate here now.
And all programs terminate here now.
And all programs exterminate here now.
And all programs exterminate here now.
Oh. And everything remaining, can we shrink all that down to list nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. Boo. Vaporize. I got a little quieter. I'm going to do time streams. So you, yeah, again, I don't have time to explain it. I'll have to explain it another time. So allow yourself to perceive all of your time streams. Oh, okay. Now, what happens is interference will also put in synthetic time streams, which are like fake time streams, and they try to lure you into engaging those fake time streams. So allow yourself to perceive all of those time streams. And now, what are all the synthetic time streams? Yeah. And put all those out in front. We'll release the regular time streams, all the synthetic time streams out front. And now we're going to shrink those down so that we can put, they're like all in front of us, just boo, right in front of us. And now put your one hand before the beginning of all those time streams, shrink it if you need to so you can perceive the before the beginning. And put your right hand beyond the completion of those time streams. And again, shrink down if you need to so you have it all in between your hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to compress it down. Picture like a pencil point on your hand. And we're going to compress it down to that single point right here, right now. We're going to collapse it into the now, and we're going to shear it. We're going to tear them in half. Ready? 1, 2, 3, collapse. All the single point, single point, single point. And now just shear them in half. Wow. And it'll feel weird. Just let that kind of untangle. It's just like, okay. And now the fake ones you just destroy. There's nothing, they're just synthetic overlays that are trying to get your authentic time streams to shift into a synthetic realm. And now let's cleanse your authentic time streams. We're not going to shear them. We're going to hold it and we're going to cleanse it. So allow yourself to picture your authentic time streams in front of you. And then allow yourself to shrink it down so it's in front again. Put your one hand before the beginning of them. Your one hand beyond the completion. Shrink it if you need to. And then again, pencil point. Picture a pencil point on your hand. And on the count of 3, we're going to shrink it down to that one point. All of your timelines, all in that one single tiny, 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 tiny point. 1, 2, 3, collapse. Right. And right here, right now. So picture them all in that one point, right here, right now. Right here, right now. All in that point, right here, right now. And just, you're holding all of everything to update itself to this here, this now, right here, right now. And right here, right now. Hold it there. And we're cleansing. And some people, while they're waiting, they'll picture like this beautiful crystal clear waterfall, and they'll run it under a waterfall or whatever, or you can just hold it. What does it is hold it right here, right now, single point, smallest point, that right on that pencil point on your hand. Everything is in that one pencil point, all of time streams. Right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. And you hold it until you just feel good. You feel kind of bubbly. You're like, wow, that is so good. And then you open it. So just keep holding it till you feel really good. Right here, right now, right here, right now. Single point, single point, single point, single point, single point. And then open it up. And when it's ready, it's like big and fluffy. If it's not quite ready yet, it feels kind of like warbly, like wet spaghetti or something, and just kind of close it again. And when you open it, it's just like, oh, fluffy and okay. How does that feel for anybody?
Much better.
Mm-hmm. So what we've done is we've taken the synthetic overlays and we've collapsed it down to the now that knows what's real and true, and then we open it back up again, and then it kind of resets itself. Okay, so that's the main part of this. The last part, and if you notice, there's still like a hanging out. What happens is when you have fixed points of view, or agreements, or binds, it holds this crap in your body and in your space of funky stuff that you, the infinite being, are like, ooh. And you separate yourself from that. What happens is you can have covert interference. They're non-physical beings or non-physical energies that kind of move into that space. So what it is your body being have these points of view, have this funky stuff that's just so not you that it causes you, the infinite being, and you, the infinite body, to go, I just as soon not hang out there. And so you separate from that part of your body or that part of your being. And when you're not there, something else can move in. It's kind of like if you have a building and it becomes abandoned, a house becomes abandoned, you get squatters that will move into that. They're like, hey, free house. All right, let's go. So it's like these energies will move into your space, and they're noisy. It's kind of like they're having a party and they're doing their thing. And they invite their family in, and they could create a whole universe in your space. And you wonder why your body and your space becomes really noisy. They've invited in all that stuff living in the crap that's not you, that you're avoiding. So what we do is when we're clearing all the fixed points of view, all of a sudden the crap that they were living in that was hiding them isn't there anymore. And they're like, oh, where'd our house go? And the agreements that were there, that boom, that's gone. The bindings that were there, boom, that's gone. And what you feel are these squirrely, it's like a house of maggots, or like just all these squirmy energies around. I mean, you feel it different ways depending if they're demonic energies. You feel kind of all the heavy, nasty energy, like whatever. They all have their own frequencies, but you feel noise and a lot of squirreliness. It's normal because what you've done is you've cleared all the crap that hid them, and now all you feel is the stuff that's been there probably all along, but it was hidden before. So I'm going to mute somebody here. And so what we want to do is we want to banish that. So allow yourself to perceive what are all the entities, demonics, creatures, aliens, reptilians, beings, doings, gods, angels, light beings, slippery beings, anything that you don't want. If you want to keep it, then fine, just don't banish it. But pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top down, trace, trace, scan, ideal. I'm not going to explain that in this program. There are other programs where I explain that. Pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all, freeze, top down, trace, trace, scan, ideal. And allow yourself to connect to your infinite being, expand to bigger than the universe, bigger than multiverse, beyond that, beyond that, beyond that, bigger than the infinite realms. Connect into your infinite being. So as an infinite being, you have connection to all that is. Allow yourself to perceive where were you, the infinite being, when these energies were created? And it's just an energy that comes up, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate from there. When they were assembled, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate from there. When they were gilded or at their gilding, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. At their source, or when they were sourced, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. At their inception, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. At their insertion, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. At their modification, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. At their copy or clone, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. That's kind of how they came into the world. Different beings come into the world different ways. That's how they come in. Pre-tag, pre-encapsulate. So we're kind of tagging them right when they first came in the world. And now what are all their networks, hives, civilizations, universes, and all their customers, clients, shareholders, and boards of directors. And pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all those. Freeze, tap down, freeze, tap down, freeze, tap down, freeze, tap down, freeze. And now let's clear the agreements that hold them there. What is everything that we and the planet agreed, your body, so when I say we, you and your body, and the planet, was everything that we agreed we would do for these energies, and everything they agreed they would do for us, and everything that was the benefit or value originally of engaging them, and everything that was not the benefit or value.
Thank you.
Wow. And can we destroy and create all those agreements?
Yes.
Yeah, I choose
Yes,
that.
I choose
I
that.
choose that.
Resend,
Yes.
revoke,
I choose
recant,
that.
reclaim,
Choose that.
renounce, denounce, destroy and
Denounce,
create, null and
destroy,
void, null and 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 void. So we've cleared the agreements that bind them here, and now you as an infinite being, as a creator, have the capacity to just go, no, I don't choose you to be here. So out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish. And say the word out, and say the word banish, and vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. So you're saying, you're saying out of my reality, and I banish you so you cannot come back, and I vanquish you. That's basically the same thing. So you can never return. So banish and vanquish are like you're out and you can never come back and you can never return. And those will never come back and will never return. That's just the way that works when you engage it that way. The other energies, the matrix can throw other ones at you, but after a while you banish so much stuff, and it's not an overnight thing, but you banish so much stuff, there's nothing left for them to throw at you, and your reality starts to become very quiet until you go digging into places you've never dug before, and then you take all the points of view off of that and all the agreements off of that, and then you notice, oh, there's more squirrely stuff there. It's kind of like you pick up a rock and there's ants or there's insects under there. It's like that. Anytime you uncover a new topic, you're picking up the rock, and then you're going to find stuff living in there, and you're just choosing no, out. This is my universe. This is my space. Out. Banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish. So how do you feel now?
A lot lighter, a lot calmer.
Yeah.
A lot calmer, lighter.
Yeah. Notice how quiet it got.
No point of view.
More space.
Yeah. Yeah. So no points of view. You're like, yeah. So now think about the virus. Don't go out and engage it. Just kind of go back to just lightly thinking about it. And it's like, virus? What was it we were talking about?
What virus?
Yeah, what virus? What is it? I don't understand. So this is the big picture of how you can clear anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So what happened for me was I listened to this expert talk, and I took in his point of view. I started to align and agree with it. Oh yeah, no, that's right. And then I started to defend for that. It's like, yeah, if more people took on this point of view, this would be a better place, and this would all get. And then I got back into polarity again. So if you notice that you do, and it takes practice to get out of it, come back to this sheet. You don't have to do all this stuff because the agreements won't come back. Agreements take a lot of effort to come in. The chances are you're not going to pull those in. You could rerun them again if you want, but pretty much if you get tangled again, and it's typically by listening to somebody and buying into their reality. You can listen to somebody, but you kind of listen to them at a distance. It's like, yeah, you're talking. Okay, I pick up keywords, but I'm not aligning and agreeing with you. I'm not going, yes, that's true. That's right for me too. I know this is true for me. Like, you're not grabbing it and taking it and owning it. It's out there, and you're like, yeah, that's his point of view. Okay, good. That's his point of view. Engage it that way. But if you do happen to engage it, just come back, clear what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable. Actually, let's run that again too. Allow yourself to perceive what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable. It's again all this stuff. I call this all the energy fog. It just blurs your reality. What is all the unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, all the Wernicke's commands, booby traps, all the covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energies and frequencies. And put all that in the pile.
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. And encapsulate. And everything from down below, back behind, up above, way up front, left, right, inside, outside, everything remaining on the pile. And body planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Let that go. Let that go. Let that go. Never was yours. Never was yours.
Never was yours.
And can we shrink all that down to less than nothing?
Yes.
Yeah, I choose that.
Yes, I choose that.
And vaporize.
Wow.
Wow. Quieter. I love it. So if you do notice that you get tangled in points of view again, just come back. And I have this chart printed out, and you just come back and you just run these tools. It may take you a bit to learn. You may have to listen to the video, or just clear with the video, or just rerun with the video again. Find that section of the video, and just clear the first column, fixed points of view, and you'll clear those points, and you'll be like, sweet space. Okay, so that is what this clearing diagnostics is. There's more stuff, but that's the core stuff that I want you to have access to. Again, that's a download that you can get. Below this video will be the link for it, or if you go to the Facebook group, it will also be in there. So that's the one part. And so I want to address the fear component, because fear is one of these funky things. Let me minimize this. I have more screens than I know what to do with at the moment. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Where are you? Here you are. Okay. So this is a shout out to Gary Douglas for his brilliance in coming up with these. He calls them distractor implants. I call them looping projector implants. Fear, doubt, jealousy, anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt. Quick explanation of these. If you notice a normal emotion, like if you have sadness and you feel sadness, what happens when you feel the sadness? If you just be present with it, what happens? It's not a trick question. Yeah, it gets smaller. So it's almost like there's normal emotions, and there are what I'm going to call synthetic emotions. Normal emotions, if you feel them, like you notice, oh, I feel really sad. If you get present with it and you just let yourself feel that, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually it goes away and you just don't feel sad anymore, unless there's an interference there. But most typical emotions, you just feel it, like even happy. You're like, wow, if I really focus on happy, and you're wondering, why does it go away? It's like information. And when you feel it, it's like, as you feel it, and you like really feel it, it just kind of melts away. That's what typical authentic emotions do. Now, if you feel fear, what happens when you feel fear? Does it go away? What does it do when you feel fear?
Magnifies
anxious. Anxious.
You feel anxious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amplifies.
It gets bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you feel fear, and then another point of view comes in and like, well, yeah, well, this could go wrong too, and then you start worrying about that, and then like, well, and this could go wrong too, and then like, well, and then this could go wrong too, and you'll, and you notice it doesn't get smaller as you feel it; it gets worse. Doubt does that. If you're like, oh, I don't know. Well, the more you don't know, the more you don't know. Jealousy does that. Anger does that. Rage does that. Fury does that. Hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt. All of those do something different than normal emotions. They don't go away when you feel them. They get bigger. They find more things to be jealous about, more things to be angry about, more things to blame yourself about, more things to feel guilty about. Right? You've experienced that, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I've experienced it.
So that's the indicator that you have what I call a synthetic looping emotion projector. So what these are is, if you envision kind of like a movie projector, I think I drew a picture of it here. Yeah. So picture like a little projector. So you got this looping thing. This is like the film. This is the story. It's looping. It just keeps running over and over and over and over and over again. It just keeps looping. And every time it runs one revolution, it grabs another new thing. It flips over and it grabs another point of view, and it projects more into your reality, more fear. And it comes up with another reason to be afraid, and another reason to be afraid. And it'll actually, and they're connected together. So you can have like fear of one thing, and then that will trigger another fear that's related. And that will trigger another fear that's related. And that might trigger doubt. And they can be sitting there dormant, like they're not running. It's a projector that's like turned off. And those are like, you can't feel them there. You can call them out, but like they're just there quietly. The gift of having fear running, or any of these running, is that you can perceive them, which means you can grab them and you can clear them easily. But it requires you to think about it differently. Instead of honoring these emotions as really true, you have to program yourself to look for them and go, no, I refuse to allow fear in my body. And you have to choose to clear them. So what these are is they're like a projector. Here's the film. It's projecting fear. So where do you normally feel fear?
In your chest.
Yeah, in your chest, in your abdomen, in your gut, typically there. If you try to grab the fear and take it out or clear it, what happens? Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Why? Because it's like a holographic projector. It projects like this hologram of fear into your body, into your gut. But the hologram is not the real thing. It's, you try to grab the hologram, there's nothing to grab. There's just nothing there. So you can't clear it. You have to grab the projector. The projector is usually down in your genital area or down below your genital area. It's an energetic implant that's usually connected to your physical body. So it's down below there. So the trick to clearing these, and I'll show you the clearing here, is, I'm going to zoom out, is what are all the looping emotion projectors that are operating here. So allow yourself to perceive all the fear you have about the virus. So let's call some of them out. We'll allow them to be triggered here. So what are some fears you have about the virus?
That it's never going to go away.
It's never going to go away. It's going to stay here for eons. It'll be, I just heard somebody say yesterday, it'll become a seasonal thing that comes out. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, add that into mass consciousness. Wonderful. Okay. Yep. It's never going to go away. What else?
Job stuff.
The jobs, what?
Job stuff.
Oh, yeah, job stuff. Like, yeah, we're out of business.
The other one that
we have no way of generating income. The businesses are going to close. We're going to have economic collapse as a result of this. What other fears?
That I can't help my clients to feel better about it. Like I won't say, it's like it's a tangled thing. Like I won't be able to help. Then
yep.
What about
I won't be able to help anybody.
Yeah.
They'll be stuck in it forever. I'll be incapable. Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Big one.
That they'll give us a mandatory vaccine for it.
Oh, yes, that they'll vaccinate and they'll put all these kind of toxins in and they'll just kind of kill everybody by giving you a vaccine. Mm-hmm. What else?
Yeah, and you'll have to have it or you won't be able to travel or anything like that.
Absolutely. You won't be able to travel. They'll actually track it. They actually developed a tracking system. Thank you, Bill Gates. And anybody else?
It's Ron. A big fear I have is like the joy that we were having before this.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to be like after that? Are we going to go back to that joy?
Yeah. We're gonna lose it. Like it's just everything's gonna collapse into decay, and it's never gonna be as good as it once was. Yeah. Anybody else? Fears?
A lot more regulations.
Oh, regulation, control. Yep. You won't be able to do this, not do this, not do this, not do this. Yep. Anybody else?
Businesses closing.
Yep. They'll just go out of business. They can't afford to stay open, or they can't afford to stay
Yeah.
closed. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else?
No, spiritual oppression even more because they'll be able to remote review.
Yep. There'll be other things that they'll implement. The other thing that comes in, if you've that they'll run out of food, that the supply chain won't be able to supply supermarkets anymore, and they'll be not able to get food, and everything. All the supply chains will collapse. Let's get some energy.
There will be banking stuff that closes down.
Yep, the whole financial system is going to collapse as a result of like all this needing money stuff. Like it's just they're going to collapse. Like it won't be able to hold up. Anybody else?
The fear is I will die.
I will die. My body will die. I won't be able to survive. I won't be able to stay alive. My home is going to be taken away. I'm not going to have any food. I'm going to catch a virus. I'm going to catch this horrible disease. I'm not going to be able to get it treated, and I'm going to die the most horrible death possible. What else? That probably covered quite a few things.
Nothing will ever be the same. Nothing will ever be the same again.
Nothing will ever be the same again. Yep. Nothing will ever be the same again. Okay. So now allow yourself to feel or perceive what is all the fear here. What are all the fears? Okay. The gift of fear is that you can feel it. It's active. It's a projector. Allow yourself to perceive the projectors that are down below that. So here's the clearing I use, and you can download this. It's a card you can print out, so you can carry it around, put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, leave it all over the house so you remember it. What are all the looping emotion projectors that are operating here? And everything under and below and intertangled, intertwined with that, and under, below, and intertangled, intertwined with that, and all the dormant projectors. Entangled, intertwined. Wow, there's a lot of those. Intertangled, intertwined with all of that. And can we grab all of that stuff and grab it from down below and in the pile? And I've even worked with unconscious people who, like, I don't teach all the clearing. I just teach about the concept of letting go. So encapsulate. And I just say that the fear is actually down below in your genital area, or down below your genitals. Just grab whatever's creating that and throw it out. I just teach people, throw it out. And that works for them. Like, it's just throw it out. Just get rid of it. It's just getting rid of the fucking projectors. That's it. So allow yourself to perceive all the remaining emotion projectors down below that, intertangle with all, intertangle, intertwine, everything dormant, all in the pile.
Yes.
And everything that all that is, a body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Let that go.
Not yours.
Never was yours. Never was yours.
Never was yours.
Not yours. Not yours.
And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Shrink it. Shrink it.
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that.
I choose that.
Down.
And vaporize.
Vaporize. Gone. Vaporize.
Vaporize. Oh.
Got vaporize.
And if it feels like it went away, so do you notice the difference there?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you notice so look for, is there still fear? There might be. And if there is, I feel there is still some people have some. So allow yourself to perceive what are all the looping emotion projectors operating here, and everything under and below and intertangled, intertwined with that, and all the dormant projectors, and everything under and below and intertangled, intertwined with that, and all the dormant projectors, and reach down to your genital area or down below that and pull all that stuff out, put it in the pile. All the cables, cords, everything tied to it, take that too. Put it in the pile. Because you can have it tied to all kinds of things. All the fear, doubt, jealousy, anger, rage, they all trigger each other. They're interrelated. They're interwired. So in the pile. All of them in the pile. In the pile.
All of it.
And body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Never was yours. Never was yours.
All of it.
And
Not
can we
yours, not yours.
shrink that whole pile down to less than nothing?
Yes.
Yeah, I choose that. Half size, half. Less than nothing. Vaporize.
Whoa. Wow. Vaporize.
Wow. Feel different?
Oh, let it go.
I feel like a rock star.
Yeah, that's what it should feel like. What if who you really are is a rock star?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So what you want to do is you want to keep clearing this until they're clear.
Right.
So my perception of this is that what happens is you have dormant ones. Like I noticed yesterday, I've been clearing fear forever, and I get to a place where I'm fearless, literally fearless. If there's something that comes up that would, like the stuff that used to be scary, like I'd have a close call in traffic or something like that, I don't get afraid. Like my heart starts racing. I get excited and I'm hyper aware and I evade it. Like fear is designed to get you so into something that you can't be present to actually take appropriate action. That's what the implant is designed to do. And this reality conditions you that fear is healthy and fear is good for you and fear keeps you safe, and we can throw all that in the garbage because it's like, what if that's all a lie? All a lie. Does not apply to you. Maybe it helps muggles. I'm not going to argue that, but it certainly doesn't help infinite beings. Garbage. Throw it out. Okay?
Bye-bye.
So it's like, but those projectors are dormant. Yesterday I went for a walk here and walked by some dogs who were, and one started coming after me, not running after me, but walking towards me. And fear came up. And like that was a dormant projector that is just programmed for dogs. It only gets triggered by dogs. You can have dormant projectors for money. You can have dormant projectors for anything that triggers fear in you. So the gift of fear, when you feel fear, is it's up. You now can tell that it's there. So immediately what I did yesterday is this dog is coming after me and I'm like, no. And I cleared the fear. The dog is still walking towards me. I cleared the fear. It wasn't like running after me or whatever, but I would have taken evasive action. But it was just kind of walk. And I cleared the fear and the dog just stopped and got bored and it walked the other way. Like there was this link between the fear and the dog. Once I cleared it, the dog was like, yeah, all right, I'll go do something else. Right? Like, but the key thing is the projectors lie dormant and they get triggered topically. Once you clear all of those triggers, they're just not there anymore unless you hang out with people who are invested in fear and you feel their fear. There are some people who get invested in fear, and I would say anybody who's false light, who's new age kind of program, that they're deeply invested in fear and they don't necessarily know it, but they need you to feel the fear. They're like, no, be afraid of this. This is like a really big deal. And they're like fear installers. So you have to choose to be willing to engage their viewpoint on fear in order to have those projectors reinstalled. So you can hang out with somebody in fear, and if you like hang out long enough, you can walk away with fear. But again, you just uninstall those projectors and they're gone. The concept is focus on it. Print these cards out, leave them around your house, and be a fear Nazi. That's maybe not a good choice of words. Be a fear, a fear, like you've committed to focusing on fear. Like you will clear fear from your life. When you make a commitment to clear fear from your life, it's just gone. You become fearless. Shit just doesn't trigger you anymore. Like it just doesn't. It's so freaking weird until you get used to it. And then you realize, you know, what if I'm never supposed to have fear? And I'm never supposed to have doubt or anger or rage or fear. You can clear all those. I used to have all of those all the time almost. There was always some of those running. They're now just gone. Those just aren't my experience. I don't live with any of these in my reality anymore. It's a choice, but you have to be conscious and choose to clear it. And my recommendation around this virus is to clear fear and doubt, because what happens is they want you to doubt yourself. They want you to doubt your knowing, and they want you to buy their points of view. And it's like, there's stuff that like that there's a certain amount of this is bullshit, and there's a certain amount that you need to kind of play along with this. It's like, you don't necessarily need to be out there causing conflict in the reality and being arrested or whatever. It's like, unless you want to, whatever, go for it. But it's like, it's just about not being internally conflicted by this stuff. So allow yourself to perceive all the doubt that you have upper active about yourself. Everywhere that I don't know, I'm not sure, and I can't tell. What is all the I don't know, I'm not sure, and I can't tell? That's upper active here. Those are all indicators of doubt. All the looping emotion projectors that you have around doubt, around I don't know, I can't tell, I'm not sure. There we go, yeah. And everything under and below that, and under and below that, and intertangled and entwined with all that, everything connected to that, and all the dormant projectors, all the dormant I don't know, I can't tell, I'm not sure doubt projectors. And grab all that stuff out, in the pile, and encapsulate, and everything intertangled and entwined down below that, in the pile, for you and the planet. So take it all out, for you and the planet, in the pile, in the pile, in the pile. Wow. And body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Never was yours, never was yours. Let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go. Wow. Wow, nice. And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Yes.
Yes, I choose that. And
yes, I choose.
half.
Yes, I choose it. Choose it. All the
And
fear.
less than nothing.
Nothing.
Resend Volker can't reclaim. Null void, null void, null void, null void, null void. Wow. So that's this handout. There's little cards you can print out. And then there's something I suggest is you start with the 30-day to fearless. Like you just choose, you make a commitment to remove all fear from your life and become fearless. Leave this card around for 30 days. Just keep focusing on that. It's like, I am going to clear all fear. Anywhere where it comes up, it's going away. And you'll be amazed at what that does to your life. And after you've done that, do 10 days to confidence and look for everywhere that you're running, I don't know, I'm not sure, or I can't tell. Because the word doubt is, your body doesn't actually know what to do with the word doubt, but it knows, I don't know, I'm not sure, and I can't tell. So that's why I put that in there. So then clear all the doubt. And once you get fearless and you get confident, man, it's the rock star thing. Like, it's just there. What if that's who you're meant to feel like every day, day in, day out? I used to feel like shit all the time. Now, for the most part, I feel like a rock star most of the time. Not all the time. I sometimes have to come back home and clear after I've been out, kind of hanging out with the muggles. But it's like, I now know who I am because I lived in this space of clarity for so long. And that's what I want to invite you into, is living into a space of clarity where these stupid emotions and the points of view and all the tangly crap is just gone. It's not true for you. It's not part of your reality anymore. It's just not yours. And instead, you live as your infinite being. Okay, so I want to do, we're over time, but I wanted to give you enough tools that you could take this out and keep it out. So I wanted to give you the whole package, and I feel good about, like, we covered a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to do a final clearing, and then we'll do receiving. So what is everything remaining that's upper active, that's triggered, that's upper active, that we may have tripped into along the way? And all the, how do I want to grab that? What is everything you decided all that stuff means that it doesn't mean? What is everything you decided it doesn't mean that it actually does? What is everything remaining that you're aligning and agreeing with, resisting and reacting to, defending for, defending against, just allow it to surface. Righteous for, righteous against. And can we take all this stuff and put it in the pile?
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
choose
Yeah,
that.
I choose that.
Yes.
And encapsulate. And body, planet, let that go. Let that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. Let it go. And everything from down below. It's funny, when the dog barked, my body just laughed. Normally, my body would have had a reaction to that. I love it. It's so cool. And back behind, and up above, and way out front, and from the left, and from the right, and everything inside and outside, everything remaining, anything that's
Everything
upper
from
active,
inside,
in the pile.
everything
Anything
outside.
not you, not you, not yours, not yours. Let it go. In the pile. And encapsulate. And body, planet, let this go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. And everything from down below. Did we do this? No, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Down below, back behind, up above, way out front, left, right, inside, outside. We did. In the pile. And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose
Yes,
that.
I choose
that. Boo. And body, planet, let that go. Not you, not yours. Let that go. Let that go. Let that go. And all the remaining entities, demonic creatures, coalition aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings doing its god, not contributive energies and frequencies, pre-tag, pre-caps it all. And no, we can skip that. And what is everything we and the planet agreed we'd do for them? They agreed they would do for us. Was the benefit of having aging, not the benefit of value? Can we just try and create all those?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I choose.
Resend, revoke, you can't reclaim, renounce, denounce, just trying to create, make, null, void, null, void, null, void, null, void, sovereign being, sound body, first, vapor, signify, null, void. And can we banish all these energies?
Yes.
Yes, I choose that. And out.
So I choose that. Out.
Banish anchor. Resend, revoke, you can't reclaim, vapor, out, banish anchors, banish anchor. Wow, there we go. And so what awareness, energy, and frequency can we in our bodies be? Let's do some receiving. To be feeling good about ourselves and our life, regardless of what's going on outside in the community around us, and receive. It's like, how can we be in such a way? What frequency can we be, or what energy can we be that would allow us to be immune to the energies that are outside in the world out there, and receive. And what awareness, energy, and frequency can we in our bodies be to assist this reality, or to be the energy that changes this reality to our advantage, and receive? So it all works out in a beneficial way.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and receive. And what's interesting is my default feeling about this, what's going on, is I actually feel very good about, I mean, I don't like the situation at the moment, but it's like, it feels like what will evolve as a result of this is actually going to be very positive. And I can't say I know what that is, but like, it feels like I feel a sense of like a mild excitement that this is going to go somewhere cool. Like, there's something special. There's something that could never have happened before that is going to change now, because this is so different. This is so business not as usual. Something very different is going to awaken in consciousness, and something very different is going to occur on our planet.
Wow.
And I don't have words for it, but like,
Wow.
allow yourself to tap into the energy of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, what if that's a reality that you can connect to and invite more of that? Doesn't mean you struggle with the stupid shit. It just means that you like, what if you, as the infinite being, have a choice of which parallel reality you're living in? Do you choose to live in the version of reality where there's collapse, and there's fear, and there's distrust of the government, and nobody's doing what they should, and blah, 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 and everything just goes to hell? Or do you choose a reality where everybody's like, wow, okay, let's do something different here, and let's outcreate the garbage that we had before, and let's create a new world that is actually better for us than the old world? How can you choose to live in that parallel reality. The way you do that is you perceive that, and you just choose that. Like that's my reality. And that's such a default for me that's what I perceive as true. And it's not like hopeful thinking or wishful thinking. It just feels true. And I can't explain it. And there's nothing I need to do about it. There's no action I need to take. There's no action anybody else needs to take. I have just chosen to live in that version of reality. And I'm just here to witness it unfold.
Wow. Hallelujah.
You see the difference there?
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing I need to do. I'm just choosing, yeah, that's my reality. I can feel it. I know that's true for me. And I choose that. And it just does that. It just does that. That's you as an infinite being. That's how you create. You just jump to the reality that is what you prefer to explore. So if you choose to prefer to explore a way that our society, this planet, the culture that we're currently interacting with transcends to a new way of managing things and becomes more aware and uses this as a stepping stone to become more and better than, choose that. Just choose that as your reality right here, right now, and allow yourself to connect to that.
Choose that.
And what awareness, energy, and frequency can you and your body be to embody that as your choice of realities and receive to your advantage? Right
I choose that.
I choose it.
Yeah.
I choose it.
I choose that.
And so my recommendation for you at this point is don't engage the tangles of the world out there. And if you accidentally get sucked into it, just clear the points of view and you get back to this nice big space and keep recentering yourself to looking for what questions can I ask that would allow me to have an even more fun experience with this. So what fun with all of what's going on is now possible and received. It's like you start looking for, it's like, well, how can I make the best of this? Like what fun and play is now possible that I've never had access to?
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like you don't focus the way the world wants you to on fear. You focus on how can you anchor in a reality where your body feels good and where your body is healthy and stronger every day and stronger every day and clearer every day and more fun and more play in your world every day. And receive.
Jaden, may I ask a question? And this may be too rabbit hole-y, so if it is, I'll, obviously I get it. What you're saying feels really good to me, and there's also an and. Can you explain the difference between, because I agree and align with that, what is the difference between that and the false light perspective of like everything is fine? Or because I guess it really
one is a mental construct. Okay. One is a mental construct that has these belief systems that you engage. All of my world is like, it's more of a mantra that takes you out of your body and out of your reality. It's like, this is just kind of a knowing that doesn't involve your connection. So false light would have you, so what she's talking about with false light is my world, my phrase, my phrase for the I'm sorry, that
New Age
distracted me. Thank you for the New Age paradigm. So it's like the New Age paradigm gets you into this whole thinking where, like, if I bring in love and light, and if I go out and connect to the Palladians and I channel Palladian energy, then it will change this planet and the virus will go away. It's like, it's all outside of you. It's not that you have it already and that you are it and that you have access to it, and that it's, if you do this, then you will. If you connect to that, then you will. If you bring in the light from the golden ray of blah, 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 then you will. Okay? And I'm just saying, you as an infinite being just are that. It's just a choice you make. But we forget that it's that simple.
Thank you. That actually, yeah, because I could feel the difference. I just needed words for it for some reason. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
That
cool.
explains it. Okay.
It helps
Thank
the
you.
brain to make
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. So I want to share where, and I need to wrap up. I'm way over, and I haven't eaten breakfast yet. My body's like,
oh no.
So, so for all the things like if you're like, now where do I go to get this stuff? If you go to my website, jaden-fox.com, it's right up there. The diagnostic quiz for amino acids is there. The false light program that we were just talking about. If you've played in the New Age agenda and you're like tangled in that, or there's stuff up for you, there's a whole free video series. Watch that. And this, if you're looking for the charts, like you can get them in the download and below this video, but there's more. If you're wondering like how to do other tools, if you click on this, this will take you to the Facebook group, and I think there's a form you got to fill out, and then it'll let you in. But that will allow you to access other tools. It's the older version of the tools. If you want the newer version of the tools, I just want to show you where you get them. You go to my shop, and so I've made a commitment to giving everything I can free. So you don't need to buy anything. But if you want the newer version of things, you can go to my shop, and it looks like this. And the thing that I showed you at the beginning, which I strongly recommend if you have weirdness going on in your reality, is the back to me. And it's a daily process that you do, and you recognize the rainbow thing here, that will get you out of all the stuff that prevents you from being you. And there's videos that actually teach you all the tools. So if you want to learn the tools, go to the shop, and there you go. So that's the end of my spiel. Let me hit stop. And thank you, everybody,
Jaden,
for
Jaden, can I ask just a quick question?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching on the telephone. Yep. I'm listening on the phone, so I'm not seeing what you're doing.
Yep.
And earlier in the call, you mentioned about the looping that we should do for the next 30 days.
Yep.
I did print out the chart earlier today. I just want to clarify that I'm looking at the right thing. Is it the looping emotion projector that says what are all the looping emotion projectors operating here? So that's what we should print out. Perfect. I just wanted clarification on that. Thank you.
The other chart. So the email that you got has both of those documents in there that I've displayed on the screen. It's worth watching the video too if you want to replay. I'll put the replay in my YouTube channel, and it'll be on my Facebook page. So you'll be able to get that as well. But yeah, and so if you're watching this recorded later, then the links to all these documents and all these things are down below this video. So cool. Thank you, everybody, for coming along and joining and playing with me. It's so cool to play with a live audience. I'm like, woohoo, all right. So exciting. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you on whatever the next thing is that we do.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jaden. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jaden.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jaden. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.